the milk up, and I did set it up to boil, but I don't know how many times I've let it to overboil and flow over the utensils. It is this burnt aftertaste, and yeah. But at one time I did get it right, and I waited for the milk to be lukewarm. I checked it with my thumbnail, the way you guys do it here. And I then put the saffron in. And you could see the yellow coming out of the red strands, but the smell was way too intoxicating. It smelled exactly like home, and I think I got too overwhelmed. I think I put in too much of it, and I think I made it really bitter now. I never thought saffron would be bitter, but I guess that is what the guns and bombs do to the valleys where they're grown, right? The rice had been soaking for a while, maybe minutes or maybe 2 hours. I swear I lost track of time. But it's weird because when we used to make this at home, it was so easy to get that grain of rice, but now to get that specific rice, you have to hunt so many different shops. Things which are familiar, they change when you move across borders, or cities, or towns, or villages, or whenever we move. There aren't much cardamom left, but then I put the cardamom in, and it's not that right shade of green. The green always looked out of my windows and I could see it. And to be honest, I do not recall what that green is or what that shade of green is, but I know it's not that. It's not right, but I don't know what isn't the same anymore. But I guess what we get now shall do. I guess when we moved, I think we should be able to pack everything up when we move. Like the broken street light that marked the landmark for our home, or the window panes that had been rebuilt over and over and over again as we played cricket inside the rooms, or the bedroom door that I did manage to paint blue, or the pothole that you voluntarily skip because you know the pavement is broken, but you go onto new streets and they're not the same anymore, and your involuntarily jump does not count. I wish I could take back the Sundays when, I don't know who it was, but somebody used to read me Rabindranath Tagore's Kabuliwala. I really wish the Kabuliwala got something more out of Afghanistan when he moved to Kolkata, because it was just that handprint on his handkerchief, the handprint of a 5-year-old child, and that's all his home meant to him. And after years, that's what he held on to. But places move on. When we move to a different city, or a different country, or cross over a boundary, we hold on to this memory of this place, and we struggle to adapt in this new place, where I struggle to adapt in this 4 walls, but we're holding on to something which does not exist anymore because that place has moved on in some ways. So we kind of do not belong there, but we don't also belong here, but we belong here because some people makes it home. And I could never get the sweetness right. It was always too sweet, or this sweetless concoction of stuff which is definitely not home. Because I can't afford the brown sugar that used to sit on the tin boxes that once held white tea at home. Neither could I afford the jaggery that I could see, or I used to see, from the holes of the window panes across our neighbor's kitchen shelf. We knew that those were the sweetest jaggery that we could ever come across, but it used to be always laden with ants, and you know that ants would, if ants are there, it is sweet. We used to see the ants walk across the wall or crawl across the wall from both different ends, crossing over in ways that was so amicable, like maybe a kind word or a warm hug, and they crossed over paths and went on to their own ways. But the partition didn't work this way. That's when you realize that moving houses and leaving home are two different things. But you don't know what the taste I'm looking for, and you probably wouldn't understand the frustration of stirring the milk over and over and over and over and over again to get that right taste. Because that's the taste or the smell, or the exact smell of the exact quantity of saffron, or that shade of green that made it home. You don't get it anymore. And maybe for you, this might be perfect because you don't know what I am looking for, so maybe you can have it and still feel like home. And maybe for now,
this is home.